Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the case of Jaggi Vasudev, who is also known as Sadhguru? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background in this case, then I'll move to my analysis. Jaggi Vasudev was born in India on September 3, 1957. He strongly prefers the name Sadhguru, which means true guru or real guru. During one interview in 2018, he actually demanded the interviewer use that name. I will refer to him as Jaggi. Jaggi's father was a physician and his mother was a homemaker. He was the youngest of 5 children. He eventually graduated with a bachelor's degree in English. He borrowed money and started a poultry farm and eventually a construction business. He traveled for about a year when he was 25. In 1983, he started teaching yoga. He would use a motorcycle to travel to various classes. He would retain his affinity for motorcycles for years to come. In 1984, Jaggi married. He had a daughter in 1990. His wife died in 1997 under mysterious circumstances. Her father thought that Jaggi was involved and said that he cremated her body before anyone could investigate how she died. According to Jaggi's website, his wife was cremated 12 hours after she died. Jaggi offered an explanation for what happened to his wife. He said that she had violent mood swings. She was so exuberant that her life left her body. Only her jewelry was keeping her exuberant free spirit within her body. When she removed her jewelry, she died within 5 minutes. He kind of made it seem like his wife wanted to die, like she achieved something great by leaving her body without it being injured. In 1992, Jaggi established an organization to promote spiritual and educational activities. He called it the Isha Foundation. He declared himself a yogi and a mystic. He would go on to write several books, including Inner Engineering, A Yogi's Guide to Joy. Jaggi is exceptionally popular. He is active on social media and speaks at events all over the world, including in front of world leaders and celebrities. He has a YouTube channel that has almost 10 million subscribers. Over the last few years, it's averaged about 30 million views a month. Here are a few video titles from his channel that I think sum it up pretty well. Sadhguru on how to manifest what you really want, how to live happily, what is the purpose of life, the mystical secrets of water, can magnets affect your health and destiny, how to become silent, I'm assuming he hasn't taken his own advice on that one, and the incredible power of your second brain. I'm not sure if he thought through how that title could be misinterpreted, but he was referring to intestines. He thinks that people have another brain in their intestines. At the time making this video, Jaggi continues to promote a variety of products and services through his foundation and many other businesses. He is one of the most financially successful spiritual gurus in history. In addition, he is an incredibly influential person in India and somewhat influential in many other areas of the world, although he has accumulated a number of detractors. Now moving to my analysis. Jaggi has spiritual and yoga programs which have a number of goals in terms of mental health, happiness, and productivity. For example, to promote mental clarity and emotional balance, reduce stress, improve sleep, maintain high energy levels, and prevent a number of conditions like arthritis, back pain, hypertension, and migraine headaches. Some of the goals are a little more difficult to quantify. For example, generating inner peace and fulfillment, transcending limitations and fears, living each moment to the fullest, and creating a positive approach toward life. There are many people who really appreciate Jaggi, and there are many people who do not. Let's take a look at some of the areas of criticism for this self-proclaimed guru. Item number 1, like many gurus, Jaggi often talks in circles when he's attempting to share his wisdom with others. He never seems to provide a straightforward answer and is painfully vague and generic. He does not offer clear-cut, step-by-step directions for anything. Rather, many of his explanations simply put the blame back on the person asking the question. Like if they don't know the answer to their own question, they are somehow deficient spiritually, physically, or mentally. For example, if the question is about inner peace, contentment, or happiness, Jaggi will try to convince the person asking the question that they are not doing something right to achieve those goals. But he can't seem to explain in any understandable way what exactly the person is doing wrong. This is a classic trick of spiritual gurus. They talk in circles and act as though they have revealed some incredible philosophical truth. Even though the answer provided is not logical, some people pretend that they understand it and declare the guru to be a genius. This enables somebody like Jaggi to offer one vague philosophical sounding platitude after another and pretend this proves that he is enlightened. Item number 2, Jaggi attempts to offer scientific explanations to explain spiritual concepts. He tries to combine these two concepts together in incongruent ways. He routinely gets the science wrong and oversimplifies complicated scientific, philosophical, cultural, and political issues. For example, Jaggi believes that after a person dies, they are actually partially alive for 11 to 14 days. To support this theory, he says that their fingernails continue to grow, when of course in reality their skin is actually pulling back, making it look like the fingernails are growing. Jaggi said that food cooked during lunar eclipses will deplete pranic energies. This is a life force that comes from the sun, the wind, and the ground. It is different from panic energies, which is what somebody feels after purchasing one of Jaggi's products or services and then looking at their bank account. Item number 3, Jaggi makes claims about his products and services that he says are based on science, which simply are not true. For example, Jaggi claimed that one of the yoga techniques promoted by his foundation led to a 241% higher than normal neuron regeneration in the brain, according to a study by the University of California. This is a claim he has repeated a few times. I read the study to which he is referring. The study found that participants using this yoga technique reported subjectively lower levels of perceived stress and higher levels of general well-being compared to a control group. This is certainly an encouraging finding, but there is no mention of neuron regeneration. There was no way to even measure that construct in the study. The only outcome measures were 2 self-report instruments that had nothing to do with neurons. Item number 4, Jaggi has unusual beliefs about water. For example, he says that it has some memory. He said if a person looks at a glass of water a certain way for a while, well-being will come to them. If they look at it another way, they will become sick. In addition, Jaggi believes that the molecular structure of water can be rearranged without changing the chemical structure simply by touching it or generating a simple thought. To be fair, Jaggi does seem to have a monopoly on simple thoughts. This is an area he knows well. Item number 5, Jaggi has a poor understanding of mental health topics. For example, he stated that people can cause depression to themselves, but he has also indicated depression does not exist. To remove this non-existent problem, people should meditate. If depression doesn't exist, then why should people have to do anything to get rid of it? This is like somebody giving directions on how to escape from the Easter Bunny. He goes on to say that if you do not have intense and strong emotions, you cannot get depressed, and he suggested that if someone suffers from depression or other mental health symptoms too often, they will permanently have that condition. There is no scientific reason to believe that's true. This is terrible and destructive advice. Item number 6, Jaggi took a lot of his ideas from Bhagwan Rajneesh, who is otherwise known as Osho. I have another video about this spiritual guru. Jaggi claims that he did not do this, but his statements contain many of the same factual errors that we see from Bhagwan Rajneesh. It seems clear that Jaggi did read and take some of his work. Item number 7, during an interview in 2022 about the COVID-19 pandemic, Jaggi said that suffering occurs because people don't know how to handle themselves spiritually and physically. This did not sit well with a lot of people. Again, we see this tendency to put the blame on people for their suffering without offering any insight whatsoever. He's not actually offering any type of solution. It's almost like he's just complaining about people. Now moving to my final thoughts. Jaggi is certainly an interesting figure who has captured the attention of millions of people, and a number of celebrities like Will Smith and Tom Brady. Many people find Jaggi to be insightful, and some claim that he transformed their lives. Others are more skeptical. They look at Jaggi as just another cryptic and nonsensical guru like Bhagwan Rajneesh, Eckhart Tolle, Father Yod, James Arthur Ray, or Deepak Chopra. He has simply churned victim blaming into some type of spiritual movement, saying that everybody who is depressed or otherwise experiences unpleasant emotions is somehow to blame for their own symptoms. He offers no helpful advice, just these enigmatic, ambiguous, and perplexing statements. My opinion is that Jaggi is really not much different than other gurus, except he is more put together, articulate, and organized. He does a good job with his appearances. He has good image management. As compared to many other spiritual gurus, Jaggi draws far more positive attention and far less negative attention. For example, he has largely avoided being thought of as materialistic, like Bhagwan Rajneesh, even though he is exceedingly wealthy. He has avoided being thought of as unqualified, like Eckhart Tolle. Jaggi is not thought of as reckless, like Father Yod. He has never been involved in any criminal situation, like James Arthur Ray, and he avoids making repeated outrageous product claims, like Deepak Chopra. Even though Jaggi has been effective at avoiding scandal, he does not really possess any concrete or helpful advice for anyone, and his thoughts on mental health run counter to what we know from science. Jaggi has turned a series of nonsensical statements and opinions into a multi-million-dollar business and experienced a rapid rise to power. He exemplifies how appearance without substance is a recipe for success. Those are my thoughts in the case of Jaggi Vasudev. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be enlightening. Thanks for watching.